Hey all you dudes and dudettes, this is Val here with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. In today's video, we're going to talk about Youko, the water magical girl. Now, as those who've been watching my stream know, she is one of my most wanted units next to any GD. And I'm even talking nature. Give me nature GD. I don't care. But every summon video is water magical girl, nature GD, either one. Please, please, please. Finally, Game Walk said, you know what? You can have it. You can take a look at my summon video, and you can see when I summoned her, it was pretty exciting. I was super pumped. She's a great unit. So, enough drilling over aside, let's take a look at the skills. Alright, auto attack, skill 1, Wish. Damage target enemy from a distance. Becomes empowered every 5 seconds, causing the next attack to deal damage to enemies in a line. Passive ability. If an ally takes lethal damage, prevents death, and sets their HP to a portion of their max HP. This effect can occur once every 60 seconds. So basically, she has the Monument Undying ability on her skill 1, which is awesome. It's a little less than Monument simply because Monument's ability can happen once every 45 seconds, while Yuko's can only happen once every 60 seconds. However, her kit brings a lot more to be desired than Monument does, so she is definitely an upgrade if you're looking to replace Monument for that Undying. Her first active skill, Ribbon Whip. Whips a ribbon of energy forward 3 times. Each ribbon damages enemies in a line and lowers defense. If an enemy is struck by all 3 ribbons, the last one blocks buffs. Can move while channeling each ribbon will travel in the same direction. Now this is really good for SW because basically you are always going to get all 3 hits on the boss. He's just there. So even if she moves to get out of AoE, it's still going to attack in that same direction and get it, which is going to help you block buffs. So between her and Monish, you should be able to keep the boss from even proccing its invulnerability. If it does, they'll always make sure you have your stripper ready. Her second active skill, Cleansing Circle. Summons a magic circle that heals allies and removes all debuffs. Healing is based on the caster's max HP and the number of debuffs removed. So the more debuffs she removes, the more she heals for, the higher her HP, the more she heals for. This is excellent also for SW because now you have a way to cleanse all debuffs from all allies. You don't have to really worry about bringing an immunity unit. So she gives you 2 units in one, and that she gives you block buffs, she gives you heals, and she gives you remove debuffs. Excuse me, so 3 all in one. My math is horrible, as we've seen from previous summon videos. Alright, Queen of Hearts, active skill 3. Blesses all allies with protective magic, absorbing all incoming attacks. Reduces all damage dealt to affected allies. At the end of its duration, the spell unleashes this energy, dealing damage proportional to the damage absorbed to all enemies near affected allies. This is an amazing skill. It does quite a bit of damage when it releases depending on how much you've taken in, and the damage reduction is always nice, especially on the ascended bosses. Her and Kai Wenji together, since Kai Wenji will lower the damage that the boss does, Youko will lower the amount of damage that you take and then reflect that damage out. They are a potent combo in any ascended dungeon. Lastly, her synergy trait increases max HP of ally champions by 30% when in boss raids. Not the greatest, but we don't bring her there for that. There are definitely better synergy traits out there. But if you have her and you don't have one, 30% extra HP in Ascendant Dungeon is just a really good thing. It's an excellent thing. So let's take a look at her stats. Here you can see I have her at 49k HP. I have her at 750 plus defense. I didn't really focus on crit rate. I did make a conscious effort for resistance. You can see she's at 60%. Didn't focus on attack or attack speed or crit damage, and I really didn't focus too heavily on accuracy at 21%. Basically, I want her to not die, so I focused on HP, defense, and resistance. Here's the gear that I went with. I went with warding and adept. As you can see here, here are the warding pieces, both 6-star. Very nice pieces. And then for Adept, I went HP, HP, HP. I mean, it was a no-brainer because the more HP she has, the more she's going to heal for. I do have enough to take these key pieces, these 4 pieces here, because everyone knows I do plus 15 in chest, because the more HP you have, the better. Also a 6-star, so this is going to be quite a nice bit of HP she's going to get from it. And then here, we're going to plus 15. And that means she's just going to heal more, and then she's going to remove more buffs, hopefully, which means she's going to heal even more. Because as she removes buffs, she heals more. As she gets more HP, she heals more. Adept really was the only 4-piece that I think is viable on her. There is no other 4-piece that you could consider. If for whatever reason you don't want to run Adept, then I think the only other logical build would be Vital, anything. Just because she'd have more HP to heal for you more. I think that would be the only other build that would make sense with her. Alright, so let's take her now into a boss raid and see how she does. Alright, so here we go. Now, it is possible for this team to actually get this boss pre-flight if all the OGDs line up properly and we get them on there. It should be good. It is a little rough in the beginning clearing waves because you got to consider we are taking, again, level 50 units that are squishy into an ascended raid. So Youko definitely has to work overtime to keep everyone healed up. And we're not really bringing a solid wave clearer, so waves will last longer, because really our biggest damage here is going to be Caroline with her OGD. And then we have Snake Lady with more OGD, and then we have Kendrick with even more OGD. So we don't have anyone really to just burst down the waves, which means they're going to be up longer, which means we're going to take more damage. But so far, so good. We're doing fine. This is the last wave before the boss. Everyone has been alive. There haven't really been any close calls. Debuffs have been cleansed pretty regularly. Now, if they're going to live through war, I do not know. I have no idea if they're going to live through war, but we're going to find out here shortly. So far, no one's done anything ridiculously dumb. We took a... Luckily, Caroline was the target of that attack, so that didn't mess us up too bad. We didn't stack enough OGD, unfortunately. So we are going to have a round 2 on this. It's imperative no one stands in breath. Like, we just can't afford to lose anyone. If we can keep everyone alive through the breath phase, then we should get a kill for Youko, her first ascended kill. Which is a testament to her, because these are, I mean, if you look at the HP on my units, these are extremely squishy units. These are not tanky units at all. So here we go. We got him healed up. Here comes the roar. Will we live? We got some key units to live. Unfortunately, one of them that we depend on is stunned. So, and their armor broken. We do have the heal going, but it's not going to be enough. If she can drop enough OGD before the boss does that, we should win. We are going to win. Okay. So Youko takes in severely under-leveled units, very low health units, and we still walk away with the W. So that's a good sign on her that she was able to bring them there. But in real testing, guys, actually go with the correct team. We're only doing this just to test her, to see how she does. We know since she survived there, she'll be just fine in EV10. Now, we're going to just do the standard run here in SW. We'll make it, what we'll do is we'll make sure she is the only sustain there. We won't have anyone else. We'll bring Monis just for the cooldown reduction. And then to make it a little difficult for her, we're going to bring a unit that is weak to this. Just again, we want to stress test her, right? We want to see if she can keep them up. Because if she does good here, if she's able to keep these units healed and alive to do damage, and that means when you actually bring your team that you want to bring is going to be successful. You're not going to have anything to worry about because you know she walked away in the worst situation you could put her in. This isn't really the worst situation. We still have Dodgy. Dodgy's going to do great damage and help us clear waves, even though we have a handicap having Dr. Synapse here. It's still going to be fine, though. We should be fine. Her heals are really good, as you saw in ED11. You know, she was able to bring them all home. She didn't get home herself, but she was able to bring them home. And that's really, it's really rough, right? That is really rough to keep that many squishy units alive and ascended. Now, her skill 1 did not become an issue simply because it does not stop one-shots. You have to live. So that skill 1 was not why she made it. That's why if you actually bring a team that is supposed to be there, you're going to do well, because likely they're not going to get one-shot. They'll get reduced enough to where they have that 1 HP, and her skill 1 will kick in and save them, and you can heal them, and she'll be able to heal them back up. So that's not going to be an issue. That's why we do these kind of things. So far, she's not having any problems with Dr. Synapse. Everything's going well. I really didn't expect much, but I wanted to bring a unit at a disadvantage to see if she could keep them alive, and she does. And we expected that, right? I mean, this is a solid team, even though the DPS, again, was at a disadvantage. Hey, and we get a thing that's going to help us for Saturday. All right, so let's hop back to the menu here, and let's take a look at Youko again. And we'll give you some closing thoughts on her. All right, so Youko, an excellent healer. She was able to keep people alive in Ascended Dungeon that really shouldn't have been there. She did get us the W. She easily kept Dr. Synapse alive in SW11. Again, the note on skill 1 does not stop one-shots, okay? So if they go from 0 to dead, it's not going to stop that. This will, in fact, though, stop if they're reduced lower, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong about this, though, guys, don't be hesitant to say, hey, you know, Val, unfortunately, on that one, you got it wrong. It does stop one-shots, unlike Monument. So if I'm wrong, maybe I just didn't notice it proc when we were in ED11, and that's where I went wrong. But from what it looks like, it only applies if they get reduced below 5%. That's what it looks like. But if I'm wrong, please tell me down below in the comments below. Now, other than that, she is a solid unit. The block buffs, the lower defense is great. The removes all buffs, the heals, great. And of course, the Queen of Hearts shield is amazing. All in all, if you have her, she can definitely replace the Fire one with no issues. A lot of people are hesitant because the Fire one does drop OGD on skill 1, which is always a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. But she doesn't have the Undying buff, and she doesn't remove buffs. Now, she does increase defense. So if you're in a situation where you need a little bit more survivability and you're not worried about buffs and you know you're going to clear it and no one's going to die, she could be worth bringing instead of Youko. But in most situations, you're always going to want to bring Youko over Katsuko. That's not to say Katsuko isn't good. Katsuko is great. It's just Yuko's kit is that just a slight bit better. So if you have her, she is definitely worth 6-starring. You will not regret it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful and had some good information, please go ahead and leave a like and hit that subscribe button. And as always, all you dudes and dudettes out there, stay frosty.